Your reality will not shift if you keep doing this. You can choose to live in your world or you can continue to live in their world. You are choosing this already, and I'm going to talk all about how you're choosing it and how to choose it the one that you really want, which is yours, not theirs. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am your Muse Traci. I'm your favorite manifestation coach, and I'm here to inspire you and empower you to live the life of your dreams, to create on purpose exactly what you want in all areas of your life, to stop settling and to stop suffering. You are not here to suffer. If that sounds good to you, you are more than welcome to join me and subscribe to my channel. And if you're interested, I have one-on-one coaching, and I also offer group coaching as well. And my next group coaching program starts this week, January 23rd. And this program is modeled after my one-on-one in-depth coaching program that I work with my clients to change their programming, their limiting beliefs, shift them into the creator mindset, release and process their emotions that are sabotaging their forward progress. I teach them how to let go of the past, drop the old story, stop reacting to their 3D reality, and so much more. This is your only chance in 2025 to join this course. So let's go, you guys. I'm super excited to work with you and help you shed the layers, the false layers that are masking your true potential. That's what it's really all about. And there's several different ways that we do that, like I mentioned already. And if you're interested, come and join me. I can't wait to see you in there. All right. Now let's get into this video. It sounds like I'm really giving, starting off with some doom and gloom, but no, it's not about that. This is one of the ways, the biggest ways that I see people stay stuck. And so I'm talking about it because I don't want you to stay stuck. And this is, I don't know if I want to call it a simple thing, a very common thing, and it can start to be more of a simple thing. Maybe at first identifying it and changing it will feel not so easy. And again, I'm going to talk about why that is. But yes, we're not about doom and gloom here. We're about empowerment, and sometimes we have to talk about, what we have to stop doing in order to get back into our power. So yes, like the title of the video says, your reality will not shift if you keep referring to your 3D reality as the facts. It's just as simple as that. There are no facts. You have to learn to let go of the facts. Which is basically anything that you've been conditioned to think and believe, anything that you've observed in the 3D reality, anything that is, kind of facts. It's not the only fact. Yes, we can look at it as, okay, that's what someone else experienced or that's what I've experienced, but to say that that's the facts and then sit back and wait for them to change, doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. So one of the first ways that you can stop, believing the facts, stop consuming them, stop inundating yourself with the facts, and just simply stop believing them. Simply understand what I'm talking about. Just because something is showing up in your 3D reality doesn't mean that it's the only option, the only reality, the only fact. Go back, I don't know how many videos now, but I was talking about how the things that the facts that we can experience with our five senses is such a small piece of reality. Like, I don't even know how small, like 2%, if even that much, whatever, 0.005%. I don't know. It's a small portion of all that is. And the mistake that we make is we've been conditioned to think that that tiny part of creation, tiny part of reality is the fact. It's all that is. That is not true. And you need to uncondition yourself from seeing reality that way, because that is not the truth. And this isn't just me saying this. This is actually scientifically proven. Again, like I was talking about in that video, you should probably go just watch that video. I'll put it in the card up here, that your brain acts as a filter. And so it's filtering out 99% of everything that's there. So, so your brain filters out 99% of what's there, and then your brain, your ego says, oh, they're the facts. And then you go, so this is what I need to think, feel, and believe according to, because these are the facts. And this is so limiting. It's so limiting, and it's not true, and it's not real. It's an illusion. And so this is not serving you, because then what the trap that we also fall into is that we wait for the facts to change before we allow ourselves to change our assumption. And, again, this is based on very simple ideas, but the practice of doing it, I'm not minimizing that, especially in the beginning. It can feel very challenging because your ego will just immediately give you a meaning of something showing up in your 3D reality. And that meaning is one option based on your specific limiting beliefs, your programming, your past experiences, all of these things. But your ego doesn't, say, oh, here's an option. No, your ego makes you think and believe this is the only option that is available. This is the only explanation. This is the only thing that makes sense. This is how your ego approaches it. And so you then, if you're not aware of what's going on, you think, oh yeah, this is the only explanation that makes sense. And it's usually not an explanation that is like, to your benefit, what you want to see play out in your reality. So, and all along, you have this innate power to choose a better meaning, a better fact, or a better story. But I see this time and time again, referring to what someone said. Yeah, he or she said this or did this. And this is the news, and this is the statistics, and this is the facts, and this is the event. On and on and on. And this is how it mostly works. This is how, my friends saw it play out. And then this is what, right? It's just like so much evidence to support this unwanted, unfavorable story, unfavorable for you. And if you keep looking outside of yourself for the facts, you are giving your power away. You are simply giving your precious power away. This is a mental game, this human experience that we're having. Your reality is a holographic mirage created by your thoughts, conscious or unconscious. So your job is to see it for what it is and understand the precious potential that you are wasting and giving away when you keep regurgitating reality and calling it the facts and then waiting for it to change. Well, I saw that it, they're over there with someone else, so now I have to just accept that. No, you don't. No, you don't. The only change comes first from a change in consciousness, which can be simplified as saying the only change comes through a change in your assumptions, what you assume is real and true. Now, society won't like you, practicing this. They'll call you delusional or silly or just, Pollyanna or whatever. But you can circumvent all of this judgment just by doing it internally. You don't have to tell everyone your take on everything. You don't have to tell everyone your new assumption that is just based on what you prefer to see and believe. You don't have to tell anyone. You should stop doing that mostly. But if you are still looking outside for validation about what you decide to think or believe, then you will keep telling everyone to see like, oh, what do they think about this thing that I'm now deciding to think? But you don't need validation from your creation. You don't. And then, if you are still looking for validation, then you likely won't get it because, again, there's a misrepresentation of the facts, assuming that what we can sense with our five senses are the facts, when really it's 1% of all of creation. right? So we're not telling anyone about our new assumption. We're not telling anyone about our new facts, because doing that is likely motivated by you looking to see if they approve. Are they approving of your new facts? Are you supported in it? Are you validated? You don't need validation. You do not need validation. You validate yourself. And again, your reality won't change much if you keep doing this, if you keep practicing this unconscious habit. The key to big change is being courageous enough to change your assumptions, change your facts before there is any proof. This is your power. This is where it all starts. Again, it's a mental game. And the biggest piece of good news is you don't need anyone to allow you to do this. You don't need anyone's permission to do this. You only need your own decision and your own courage and your own resonance that this is really how it works. This is really what's going on. And you probably do resonate with that if you're here watching this channel. So you don't need anyone's permission. You just need the courage and your own decision to go forward and start making new facts for your own reality so that you can see the big change. I've spoken about this before. This journey is for the brave. You cannot say stay safe and do this. If you're interested in staying safe, then this message really isn't for you. But newsflash, anyway, if you are mostly concerned with being safe, you already are safe. Because it's all you and nothing can actually harm you. You already are safe. You don't need to play it safe. So be courageous enough to create your own facts. That's what this is all about. And, in the beginning, again, you learn how to develop the skill, telling a different story. There's always more than one option. But first and foremost, you have to recognize when you are telling this, your ego is feeding you this one story, again, based on your limiting beliefs, your conditioning, your concepts about yourself, which maybe are not the best. And your ego does this little math equation and projects the meaning onto whatever it is and makes you think that is the only explanation. There's no other explanation, because why? Why does it do that? Because again, it's based on your beliefs, your conditioning. So it's going to make sense to you. It's going to make sense to your belief system, this unfavorable meaning that your ego is projecting out onto circumstances. So you have to start to realize, and I'll tell you how to do that actually. You have to start to realize that this story, this projection that your ego comes up with in a flash is one option. There are so many other options, okay? So your ego does this because it wants you to stay safe. It wants you to stay small, and it wants you to stay within the confines of your programming, your limiting beliefs, your concept of self. But the way you can start to catch yourself doing this is noticing that story that it's projecting out onto the circumstances, which is what you're really reacting to, by the way. That's a topic for another video. But your ego projects its limited story onto whatever the circumstances are, and you are actually reacting to your own story, okay? And again, this is how you're going to start to catch yourself doing this. It doesn't feel good. This projected story made up by your ego and presented to you as the only option, the only thing that makes sense, that is not favorable for you. This is how you start to catch your ego, because it doesn't feel good. So when you don't feel good, you need to take a moment. Rather than reacting, you need to go inside and look at yourself. What is happening here? My ego has just come up with this story, this detrimental story, in half a second, and I'm reacting to that. You have to recognize that it's not the circumstance. This is what I teach my clients to do. This is part of the illusion. This is part of buying into the illusion, because it's all you. You projected the meaning that your ego gave it. You're reacting to that. That doesn't feel good, because it's, again, probably a good meaning, because it's coming from your ego. And meanwhile, you think it's the circumstance making you feel this way. It's never, ever, ever, ever the circumstance. But this is how you can start to catch yourself, okay? By noticing, wow, I don't feel good. This feels scary. It feels hurtful. It feels, ooh, I'm angry even a little bit, right? You start to notice these negative emotions. This is when you need to go and look at what is really happening. What is really happening? Now it's all going to be happening fast. So you're trying to slow down and understand yourself. This is, it's a whole skill in and of itself, right? But your ego doesn't want you to know that the meaning or the story that it's telling is just one option. It doesn't, because your ego wants you to stay small, stay in fear, because its goal is to keep you safe. And if you're mostly staying small and, fearful, then you're probably going to be playing it safe. And your ego wants to run the show. And so when it throws this meaning out, and the meaning is based on fear and lack and doubt, and you're not enough, and then makes you think that it's the only meaning that makes sense, you have to start to see through all of this. Your ego is not in control. It has been running the show for some time, but you need to take back control. And this is one of the ways that you do that. I've talked about your ego wants to be the CEO in another video. It's a little bit what we're talking about here. So we have to develop this skill to create different meanings, and not just in the moment, but for who you think you are, what you think you're worthy of, where you think you're going, what you think is coming next. None of that can be based on, or it shouldn't be based on, your past experiences and what you've seen so far. You're just taking what you've seen so far then and projecting it out into your future. So you will likely get more of that. You can't keep doing this, take what I know, take what I've seen, take what I've heard, take all the facts and say, yep, this is what it is, and expect to get something different. How would that even work if you're the creator of your reality? You're projecting the facts onto the future screen of space that you're about to experience, and then when you experience it, you go, yeah, see, those are the facts, and I'm waiting for them to change. It doesn't work that way, you guys. So we have to be brave enough to change the facts internally, change our assumptions before there is any proof or evidence. How do you do that? By knowing who you are, by knowing that the facts are 1% of all of reality, like I talk about in all of my other videos. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap this one up here. Leave me a comment down below. I will see you in the next video.